G'day everybody, welcome back to another Rosh Reviews, and today we are actually in something quite rare, and you might not have even heard about this thing. So I'm sure you've heard of an SV6, but have you heard of an SV8? Well, today people, we are in one. We're going to show you around it. We're going to let you know what this thing actually is, and yes, they did make these things. So it's pretty rare, and even when I first found out about this vehicle, I was scratching my head. I was like, yeah, SV6, but SV8, it's a thing. So, guys, we're going to cover it. We're going to review this thing, take it for a drive. We will launch it, so make sure you stick around, hit subscribe. Yeah, leave a comment as well if you do know some facts about these SV8s. Now, I'm going to talk pretty much in generalities here because, again, this is a quite not talked about model, and doing my research on this thing, I heard a lot of hearsay, I heard a lot of rumors, so I'm going to basically say them, and I'm going to leave it to you guys in the comments to actually confirm it. So, officially, I read, and I did see some backups from comments, that there was only about 500 VYs and about 500 VZs that were ever made in the SV8. So this particular one's a 2005, and it is a VZ. So again, huge props to Nextride for loaning me this particular vehicle. It is for sale, and it has only done 55,000 Ks. So yeah, read it and weep. I am not joking here. Yeah, whoever owned this before definitely was an SV8 fan, and they took care of it, I guess. So yeah, they didn't drive it much. But anyways, around 500 apparently for VYs and for VZs. Is that true? Again, I'm going to leave it to you guys in the comments. Let me know. But what exactly is an SV8, you're asking? Well, guys, it's pretty much a POV spec SS. Like it's a bare base model Commodore with a V8 in it. So I think the term was it's pretty much an executive with a V8. And this does have the 5.7 liter LS1. And this thing is pushing about 250 kilowatts and I believe 470 Newton meters, rear wheel drive obviously. From factory, I believe these were a manual. I would have loved to have seen one of these in a manual because unfortunately we got the 4-speed slush box. So I'm never really a fan of that. And look, this particular car, again, 55,000 Ks, is essentially totally stock. So there's not really anything done to this thing at all that I can see. So it is still quite cool to see one of these completely stock. Yeah, no messing around has been done on this. Now, a lot of people will call this the poor man's SS, which essentially kind of is. But this was considerably lighter, I was told, as well. So this thing weighs in at about 1,630 kilos. And look, you know, a regular VZ, I would say they're 17, you know, 1.7 ton. Especially if you're looking at some of the club sports and stuff with the fancy seats and all the leather inside, you know, those things you can get close to 1.8 ton, you know what I mean? So the fact that this was so bare bones, had just such little equipment in here, did mean that, you know, you were saving a considerable amount of weight. And people claim that these are actually faster in a straight line. So again, when we do the 0 to 100, we will test that out. That should be interesting. And let's just not even talk about yet the price savings if you were going to buy this thing, because brand new, these things were going to set you back about 42 grand. So you were saving like over 8,000 bucks nearly versus getting a standard Holden, which I believe was coming in at around 50 grand. So, you know, again, you got 8,000 bucks here. I could think of a lot of good mods that could go on this for 8,000 bucks, and this would be such a superior car to the Holden SS. Yeah, if you were going to buy a track car, I think the SV8 would have been the way to go. The thing that I was a bit funny at, right, is this has got electric windows. You know, you've got your child locks even here, but there is no hard button to unlock the doors. There's no hard button to unlock the doors. Like, unless you're using the key, there's no button to unlock the doors. You physically got to like reach over and flick the locks up, or turn the car off and use the key. That just seems bizarre to me. Am I missing something, guys? Have I just completely gone blind and I've missed it? Leave it in the comments. I cannot find a lock button in here to save my life, basically. So, yeah, that's peculiar. Yeah, it's got movement. It definitely has movement, this thing. It's just, the 4-speed always hurts these things, and it's the suspension on this one that just doesn't give you the huge amount of confidence. Well, the brakes as well, but, yeah, it's over-engined. You know, it's overpowered, this thing, for really what it is. But I love that. You gotta love that, you know, Aussie engineering, mate. Let's chuck her into power mode. Come around this real tight hairpin here, and we'll just see what the old yacht does. Ooh, yeah, I gotta slow right down. Ooh, and then get on it. Fucking hell, mate! It's a second gear, and it's like, bro, we were hitting nearly 120, and we weren't even near redline yet. That is how long these gears are, guys. They've geared it for the Autobahn, man. Yeah, second gear shifts right at like about, you know, you get to about 120 and then it can shift, but like, man, it's just, that's why you want a manual. You can play with it a little bit more. This just restricts you a bit with playing with the car, which, you know, you do your first into second and run second quite nicely, but yeah, it's... Another thing I've noticed while driving this, okay, is when it's in power mode, you get the transmission in power mode here, even if you're just driving it kind of sedately, it very much, like, kicks you around. It's not really nice at all. You take it out of power mode, in a normal shifting mode, and it does definitely settle down. It shifts smoother, doesn't kick you in the back so much. But that was something I just noticed instantly when I had it in power mode straight away. It was, yeah, not shifting very nicely. Put it back into normal mode, it will shift a lot smoother for you. Now, guys, again, if you're enjoying this type of content, make sure you hit the big red subscribe button, click the bell notifications, like this video, comment on this video, because it really does help me out. Find these cars, again, these things are rare, and bring them on to you guys. You know, I'm trying to bring some quality here. We're in 4K now, so you got to subscribe. And we are doing this full time, people. So we're traveling Australia. If you got a cool car, shoot me a message. And yeah, there is just so much still to show off. We had such an amazing automotive industry here in Australia, and the world needs to know what's lost now. It's a shame. It is such a shame. I do have to appreciate, though, that, you know, Holden was giving you options with the Commodore here. Because say you wanted an LS1, but you didn't want to spend over 50 grand on an SS. You didn't want to spend like 60, 70, sometimes even 80 grand on the top of the range HSV. Like, you know what I mean? There was an option to still get an LS1, a V8, in a Commodore. Even though it's a POV basic, you know, executive SV6 essentially with a V8 in it. I like the fact they were giving you options because, you know, look, if you just didn't have that money or you wanted to save that 8 grand and again, utilize it for something else, there was an option there. And that's fantastic. You know, they didn't sell a whole lot of these. I think a lot of people would have just gone the SS, but I have to say it's nice that they had options back then. And it's a shame we got basically zero options now. We are f***ed, and we got screwed hard. So again, guys, if you got an Oz DM or a JDM, a muscle car, whatever gem you love, the Euros, whatever, if you got one, you should keep it, because nowadays, I tell you what, it is so hard to find fun, performance, character-driven cars. It's really going to become a thing of the past soon, and that does make me sad. Absolutely does. But again, what do you guys think of the SV8? I want to hear the comments down below. I like hearing from them. I reply to all you guys. What do you guys actually think of this? Was it a cool thing? Is it still cool? Or would you pass on one of these? I don't know. Look, I'm just driving it for the first time. It's basic as hell in here. It's not an exciting car, I would say, but it has potential. And if you're willing to spend some money on it, you could definitely turn this into an absolute beast. No question. Now, 0 to 100, guys. We are pulling up on this back road. We are going to test it out now. And this thing apparently is claimed at 5.6 seconds. I will be shocked if we actually get that. So, reset the draggy. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Yo. I don't know. I don't think this thing can do a 5.6. I just don't believe it's got a 5.6 in it. Maybe on a perfect launch, but let's have a look at what this time was anyways. 0 to 100, guys, was done in 6.5 seconds. And that's what I figured this probably was going to do, over 6 seconds. Because it just has a bit of struggle taking off the line. I think if you could build those revs up, so if you're in the manual and you could really kind of build the revs up, launch control-ish type thing off this line, you might be able to do a 5.6, maybe. But this it doesn't really want to allow you to build up the revs too much, and then once you just let go of the brake, it does take a little bit too long to just get going. But once it's going, it is reasonably quick. So, 6.5 seconds for a completely stock, nearly 20-year-old car here isn't terrible. It isn't terrible, but it's basically as quick as I thought it was going to be, and it's reasonable. I think so. Now, guys, I'm going to finish the video off here today, so look, a huge thanks to Nextride for loaning me this particular VZ SV8. And guys, what can I say? It's a POV spec Commodore SS. It's the basic of basic. And look, I think again, if I'm going to stress it again, if it was in a manual and you were going to just track this thing and you just wanted lightness and just you were going to modify it, mate, that would have been the one to buy, I think. But look, at the end of the day, it's a basic Commodore with a V8. So you can't not like it, but it is what it is. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you're new here. We will see you on that next video. Take care.